Hello there, everyone. How's it going? Just a word of warning, this is not a Let's Play video. I may have some game playing in the background just so something's going on, but really this is just a brief commentary on being a new, unknown Let's Player. If you take a look at my channel, you might notice that I was very active for quite a while, some number of months. I got to like 150 videos or so, and then I just stopped. Yes, I stopped. And here's the reason why. And by the way, this isn't a scripted discussion or anything, so sorry if I stumble or tumble over my words or anything like that. But I just kind of wanted to talk about what this is like and maybe give some warning to anyone else who does this in the future. Right now, I'm not sure if I'm going to continue doing Let's Plays. I did record another one today. Not sure how happy I am with it, but we'll see. It's the game Elder Sign. Anyway, when I first got into doing Let's Plays, oh, and by the way, this is not going to be about what audio equipment to get, what video capture software to use, nothing like that. That kind of information is everywhere. Oh, and really the kind of information I'm going to give is probably everywhere too, but hey, it's just another story to add to the pile. So anyway, when I got into Let's Playing, I knew I wasn't going to be popular right away. I knew it was going to be very slow going for months and months and months. And for some people it even goes years and years and years. Early on, my video quality was decent. Audio quality could have been better, but I got that taken care of pretty quick. There was a lot of experimentation early on, a lot of audio sync issues I had to manually take care of. Eventually I got that settled, not a problem. Got a lot of compliments on my audio and video quality. So that didn't seem to affect my popularity at all. And that's been said before. The good audio and video quality is kind of just a minimum to be expected of a channel these days. It does not make or break your channel. So if you're obsessing over AV stuff, unless your quality is really bad, that's not the thing that you need to worry about. And don't get me wrong, I never expected to be particularly popular. You know, I'm no PewDiePie or Markiplier. You know, those people, they're practically, you know, performers in their own right. You know, things go on their personalities. People watch their videos because they like to see how they react to things and because they make them laugh. I never expected to be anything like that. I'm a little dry, you know, a little boring. I don't know if I want to say that, but, well, I do want to say that. So anyway, basically I'm average. Not everyone can be some performer, you know, so some people are clowns, some people are very intelligent about the games they're talking about, whereas I just kind of play the game, enjoy it, talk about it, whatever, you know, like most people. And that didn't really work. And it's not that I didn't, or that it's not that I expected it to work. I expected it to be slow. I guess I'll just put it this way, I didn't expect it to be so slow. After a number of months, I still only had like 30 subscribers. And I think even after I quit, I gained like 10 more. It really just seems kind of random. And you can do a lot of promotion to get people to come in to see your videos. But even if you do that, I know that's how a lot of people become successful. But really, that's not even enough. One of the big things one of the big reasons why I stopped doing it is because at one point I actually used Google AdWords or AdSense or whatever, and brought in several hundreds of views to my channel, and the turnaround was awful. Out of those hundreds and hundreds of views, maybe there might have been 1,000 views off of it. I'm probably understating it. Out of all of those, maybe I got 1 or 2 subs, maybe. Very few people who watched entire videos, very few people who continued onward. And that was very frustrating, you know, knowing once you get the people coming in, they just don't care. And I don't necessarily think it's a matter of quality. It is and it isn't. I would certainly say I'm not the worst Let's Player on YouTube by a long shot, but it's kind of matured. And some people would disagree with me on this point. I would use the word saturated, and I have been disagreed on this before, but I'll explain why I think I'm right. By saturated, I mean basically there's so many people doing this that it's just too difficult for most people to break in. Now, the people I've had disagree with me say, well, no, it's still possible to break in if, you know, you're really great, and this was a person who had like 4,000 subs and not that much time. So, you know, they had their own personal experience. But my point is, with the saturation, it's not impossible. If you are exceptional, if you're really good at marketing, and you found a good niche with your videos, if you're entertaining, you can do better than most people starting out. But the thing is, you're up against, you know, I haven't counted how many really popular Let's Players there are. Let's say there's 100. That may be too many, that may be too few. But let's just say there's 100 really good people out there right now. And, you know, who knows, there could be tens of thousands of really bad people, or average people, I don't know. But even if it's 100, or even if it's just 50 or 20 people, excuse me, doing really good Let's Plays, how many, think of it this way, how many people do you subscribe to? How many Let's Players do you subscribe to? And of the ones that you have subscribed to, how many do you watch? How many do you watch every one of their videos? How many do you like? How many do you comment? Probably, that number's probably going down with each increasing level of commitment required. So, given that there's so many people doing it, you've really, really got to stand out in order to get any sort of numbers. You know, my 30 subs that I had at the time was just luck, basically. And there were very few people who actually followed videos, you know, followed the series or whatever. So it was just kind of all random people. What's the point to me saying all of this? Well, I'm not complaining, and I'm sorry if my throat's a little scratchy. I haven't actually done this in a while, and I did a Let's Play just before this that lasted about an hour, so my voice is feeling it. But I guess the point is, I first wanted to explain why there's this sudden point where I stopped making videos. I actually even had some more videos in the series I was working on either ready to go or half ready to go, and I just kind of was like, I don't feel like doing this anymore. And I'm making this video because I'm thinking about starting again. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna do that, but I'm thinking about it. And I kind of just wanted to share my experience with it so that anyone coming into it knows the barrier to entry that exists. If you look at my channel, there's some really nice channel art, in my opinion. I didn't make it, someone made it for me, so I'm not tooting my own horn here. But I had some really nice channel art made for me. Looks pretty professional, I think. My video quality is good. My audio quality, I like to think, is pretty good. I spend a lot of time cleaning it up. And it's not enough. And that's okay. You know, I'm okay with that. But I think everyone else should know what they're getting into. You don't just put things on YouTube anymore and they get seen. Many years ago, that may have been the case when there were fewer people doing Let's Plays, fewer game videos, you know, that were available. Then you could kind of get into it with a shaky start, learn as you go, and still pick up an audience. And today, people just expect something more. They expect your AV quality to be great, you know, passable at least, and you as an entertainer, as a performer, to, you know, be interesting. You know, the game, some people get by doing the game, you know, walking people through things and stuff like that, but that's pretty difficult. You still kind of have to be entertaining either with your personality or with the information you give. Just playing the game doesn't really do it, unless you add that extra thing that really makes people want to stay. One other thing I do want to discuss that you need to be prepared to deal with is copyright notices. If you have cutscenes of games, or even if you didn't do anything wrong, you're going to get copyright notices. You're either going to have to acknowledge those and worry about your video potentially getting blocked worldwide and getting copyright strikes, or you're going to have to dispute them because they're bogus claims or whatever. And those happen surprisingly often, bogus claims. They are, as far as I've seen, fairly simple to win if you're in the right, but still, it's a nerve-wracking thing to think of what could happen, potentially. And I guess the reason I quit was it just stopped being worth it. Because, you know, on the one hand, I just wanted to play games, have fun, you know. But then it's like, well, the games I want to play are overplayed. And then it starts to creep in your mind, I might want to do something to see if I can get some more views. And then suddenly you're not playing the games that you wanted to play anymore. You're not having as much fun anymore. So that's a really bad trap to get caught in. And doing that, playing games you didn't necessarily want to play, on top of getting all the copyright notices, on top of all the time spent editing. Here's an interesting fact. I would estimate, and this is just a quick estimate off the top of my head, that I spent about 20% of my time doing Let's Play related things actually playing games. The other 80% was editing video, editing sound, you know, trying to talk on forums, networking, trying to promote. The 80% of the time is not playing games. So if you think, oh, being a Let's Player is, you know, really fun, you just get to play games. No, you don't just get to play games. If you want to be serious in terms of quality, in terms of your number of viewers, you actually have to spend some money for some equipment. You have to put in a lot of time not playing games and doing things that, honestly, after 150 videos, I was finding extremely repetitive, incredibly boring to do. And without the viewership numbers to back it up, you know, if I was getting, you know, a significant number of subscribers for my videos, or a significant number of views, or anything like that, then it would be worth it. I would look at this time spent, you know, these however many hours a day, 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day. I spend less time than, you know, a professional YouTuber would. But, you know, those hours would feel more justified if there were more people. But, you know, if things weren't really showing an upward curve, they were kind of just steadily, very slowly going up. You know, kind of just random people trickling in. And, you know, it just felt like it's not worth the time that I'm spending on it. You know, so it was unfortunate, but I did get a lot out of it. I suppose the only other thing to say is, don't monetize. A lot of people start very early wanting to monetize, even if it's just for fun, and I did that too for a little while, but honestly, it's at the very beginning, it's just another hassle. It's something that's going to drive people away because of the ads, and it pays so little. So little. Don't be deceived looking at numbers for what people like PewDiePie make. If you look at those numbers and think that's what kind of money this pays, you're going to be sorely disappointed. When you look at people like PewDiePie, you have to consider that he has more subscribers than people like Rihanna and Lady Gaga, all of those people who are, you know, superstars. So PewDiePie is a complete outlier, and so are most of the YouTubers you probably subscribe to. If you ever do get really popular, then yeah, by all means, start monetizing your content. Until then, it's really just a good idea not to put that on your plate as something to worry about, and just have fun playing the games. Play the games you want to play, and try not to get too obsessed with looking at your view counts and worrying about how well you're doing, because unless you are the next PewDiePie or Markiplier or name anyone, it's gonna be a pretty tough road ahead. Anyways, thank you for listening to my rant. Have a good one.